Hey, 95 Fathoms here, and I am back with the capstone to my Gold Dream Team quest. Obviously, I already have my 6 team members, and as you can see, I'm at Mount Silver and have therefore played through almost all of the game, but as I said at the end of my Murkrow video, I have a little bit of a bonus hunt planned here, and it has a lot of meaning to me, so you're going to have to excuse me as I tell a slightly long-winded story. My very first shiny, excluding the Red Gyarados obviously, was a Sneasel in Gold on this exact cartridge. For a lot of people's first shinies, they thought it was a glitch or something, or they caught it and they later found out that it was rare, but I knew that shinies existed and that they were rare very early on, so early on that I don't actually remember when it was that I learned about them. So I caught and treasured that Sneasel instantly, though, like almost all the shinies I've ever found outside of a quest, I'm pretty sure it just sat in a box. But anyway, I obviously no longer have that Sneasel, because, you know, this is a fresh save file, it's only like a year old. I'm sure my internal battery would have died before I got a proper backup tool anyway, but my original gold file actually got deleted by accident because I was trying to change the time to get one of the Gen 2 evolutions, I think Umbreon, to get the last 2 entries of the Pokedex, with the other missing one being Dragonite. Nowadays, there's all these nifty calculators to help you find the code to enter to change the time in Gen 2, but in the early 2000s, whenever exactly this was, it wasn't so readily available, and so I knew that this was a thing, but I didn't know what the code was, and I would just go to the menu every so often, put in a number, and try to get it to work as if somehow I was going to be able to brute force like multi-digit code. But what I didn't know was that the button input at the title screen that lets you change the time has a counterpart where if you hit the opposite direction, it prompts you to delete your games file. And I hit the opposite direction once on a whim, came upon this message asking me if I wanted to delete my save file, and I was so terrified of deleting my game that I just instantly hit down an A without even looking at it. Except this menu defaults to no and has yes on the bottom, so that ended up erasing my game. I'm sure there are people who would say that's like what I get for trying to cheat to change the time or something, but I have made liberal use of that time change feature for this quest, so clearly I have no remorse about it. But it was one of the most heartbreaking moments I've had playing Pokemon, and it was so devastating that this is the first time since then that I've actually fully played through this gold cartridge, because it just felt pointless to try to play again after I lost my original team and a nearly completed Pokedex. And I'd wanted to do a Dream Team quest on this cartridge specifically to have something that would feel special enough to play through this cartridge again, but the other thing I really want to do is reclaim that Sneasel, which was such a crazy cool first shiny to get and to find completely randomly. So with that prelude over, I'm here on Route 28, specifically at night. It's the same encounter table here as the area directly outside Mount Silver with some slightly different levels. But the reason I'm here is because, from what I can recall, this was the patch of grass where I found that shiny Sneasel. The human memory is imperfect, and it has been like 20 years, so there's a good chance I'm wrong, but if this is the area, I thought it would be really fun to have the reclaim be here too. I do expect this hunt to take quite a while, though. Sneasel is only a 10% encounter, and my phase luck has been so bad of late that I imagine that I'll go at least the 10 expected phases for it, if not more. On the bright side, there are some really cool potential phases here, and I'm prepared with Mean Look in the case that one of them is Tangela, since those can run from you in Gen 2. Otherwise, I'm sticking with Sweet Scent for this hunt as well, at least for the time being, because it's just so nice for hunting something on the side. There is a repel trick you can do for Sneasel here and only here, so not right outside of Mount Silver due to the level difference, but I'm not planning to do it unless things go really poorly. It's only like a 14.29% instead of 10%, so it's not a huge difference. But hopefully the game doesn't take that as a challenge and say, oh, so you want things to go really poorly first. But anyway, with that, I will get into the first encounter here. A regular Ponyta, and with that, I will see you when something different colored pops up. Oh, shiny Ursaring! Oh. Dang, I was looking right at the screen when that happened. Okay, let me take a second and switch over to a single screen. Okay, phase 1 for Sneasel, shiny Ursaring after 5,208 encounters, so we're reasonably well under odds. I love Ursaring. I love Ursaring's shiny. It looks better in later gens, in my opinion. It's sort of like a, I don't know, kind of a golden color almost. It's not quite green in this game, and a lot of people hate gold shinies, but green shinies, but I don't. So I think it looks better in later games, but like I love Ursaring and I think it's a good shiny, so I'm happy to get this, and I imagine I'm gonna get everything else on this route before I get Sneasel. Actually, something I should have checked. I don't know what percentage Ursaring is here. Okay, Ursaring is at 20% here, so yeah. Rapidash is, I think, the only other 10% here. Yes, Rapidash is the only other 10%. So Rapidash is the only thing I might not expect to get before I get Sneasel. But as I said in the intro, I expect Sneasel to take a lot of phases. Because, you know, at 10%, you've just got to expect to phase a lot on it. So I'm not at all disappointed to phase. This is actually a 2-in-1 day for me because I just got the final EV of my, the set of 8 for my triple team quests today. So this is a 2-in-1 day, which is very cool. Yeah, so it doesn't have anything spooky. It's got, it's like Fury Swipes, Feint Attack, Rest, and Slash. So, I mean, it might get kind of annoying healing itself. I don't know how much damage False Swipe is going to do. Oh, that's right, I have Super Fang too. And honestly, I can probably just Super Fang and then throw a ball. I'm not super concerned about it. I don't think it's going to be too hard to catch, so... yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I'm sure I have Ultra Balls, right? I must have gotten some Ultra Balls. It was very cool to see it shine. Like, literally, I was looking at the screen and then just sparkle. That's always a fun thing to happen when you're shiny hunting, because oftentimes you look at it after the fact, and that's still fun, but especially with the Gen 2 sparkles, seeing it sparkle in real time is very fun. And 3 Shake Fake. You may notice that we're gonna False Swipe this. You may notice that my video quality looks slightly better than before, than it has on my other Gen 2 hunts, which is because I switched over from using the Game Boy Player disc to using Game Boy Interface, which is a homebrew app you can set up, which I definitely recommend, if only because it's a much cheaper alternative than spending however much on a Game Boy Player disc. I think I spent like $50 on a Game Boy Player and disc at GameStop years ago now. Ursaring caught. So it didn't cost me a lot of money, but if you try to get an English Game Boy Player disc nowadays, forget it. It's ridiculous. So, and the Game Boy Player has worse video quality, so you're better off just using Game Boy Interface anyway. A good tip that I got from Sonics to do this. I don't have HDMI, so it's not quite as good as it could be, but still, it was a nice improvement to add, and it's easier than swapping 2 Game Boy Player discs between my 2 systems. So anyway, I would like to give Ursaring a nickname, but I also kind of just want to save. Yeah, we're just gonna save, and I'm gonna have to get it from the PC. It's gonna be annoying. But phase 1 down. So that's cool. As I said, like, I expect to phase a lot, so it's like I'm eager to get knocking down some of these phases and knocking out some of these phases, so I can get to the point where I'm, more in the realm of possibility of finding Sneasel, but who knows where my phase luck will be, since I mean, this quest had really good phase luck, but all of my other quests in recent history have had pretty garbage phase luck. Which is to make up for the fact that I had really good phase luck for a long while. Anyway, I didn't need to heal. I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna have to knock out my Sweet Center again, but I needed to heal my Smeargle anyway. You may have seen it was damaged even when I started battle. I don't remember how it got damaged, but it was damaged, and then I had saved the game, and I set up my games so that, I set up my games so that, like, I set the clock to be reset because I can only hunt for Sneasel at night. And then every time you start the game, it'll prompt you to set up the clock. If you don't save, it'll always do that, so you don't have to enter in the code again. So I didn't want to... Unless I found a shiny, I didn't want to have to deal with that again. So yeah. So let's look at... Actually, I didn't even see the gender. Him. Let's look at him. Yeah. I mean, not much to talk about since no natures or anything, but again, very cool shiny. This is very, very cool to have. Let's show him off in an encounter really quickly, and then we'll get back to it and start on phase 2. There's my shiny Ursaring. That's a cool back sprite. I've never used an Ursaring in Gen 2. I'm sure I must have used it at some point in some game. I used Ursaluna in Legends, but I must have used Ursaring at some point. But anyway. Phase 1 down, and Ursaring can't run. I guess that tracks. It is a Ponyta. Well, one way or another, phase 1 is down, and I will see you in the next phase. What? Shiny Tangela? Hello? Excuse me? Finally went over 20k again, and now this is happening. That's a 3-in-1 day. That's a 3-in-1 day. Alright, give me a minute. Okay, shiny Tangela in my other gold version after a whopping 122 encounters. I got Ursaring literally like an hour ago. It was like 9:15 when I got it. It's now 10:30. This, as I said, I got my 20k plus shiny Eevee today, and I was like, great, we had an over 20k phase, things are normalizing a little bit, they're evening out. Now another 100 encounter shiny. I mean, what in... okay. Anyway, so that's something. Unfortunately, I don't have audio. My other capture card for my GameCubes has straight up neglected. It's decided to straight up not have audio anymore, so... Only one of my capture cards has audio, but it's fine. We can switch the cables, so we have audio now. I have to say, this was definitely one of the things I was most hoping for on this route. As I said, with Ursaring, I expect to get everything here, but Tangela has always been a shiny that I love, but in Gen 2 specifically, I love the green color. It's like kind of a chartreuse, which I think a lot of people think is like, ew, gross, like vomit colored, but like, I don't know. I've always liked chartreuse, so maybe I'm just a weirdo, but anyway, I guess we're gonna catch this thing. I'm excited to get this, and you know, as I said, you know, I want to get, you know, knocking out the phases, so that's cool, but I mean, could have waited a little bit, and honestly, I would much rather have had the other hunt I was working on shine, because I really just want to be done with it. But it is what it is. I mean, literally, like, I had just started hunting again, maybe, you know, I don't know, I didn't look at how long I'd been recording when it popped up, but, oh my god. I was so distracted. I was so distracted. Okay, and I have a heart attack about that for 3 months now. I forgot. Tangela can run from you. I set up Mean Look specifically knowing that. If it had woken up, I could have just failed that. Oh my god. Well, we caught it, so we don't have to worry about it. That was so stupid. That was so stupid. I was prepared, and I double-checked Ursaring's moves when I found it, but I was so thrown off by finding 3 shinies in one day. I don't know if I've ever had that happen before outside of Safari Week. Maybe... No. I take that back. I think one other time. It was when I found my 2 shiny Tranquil and the shiny Heracross in Gen 5 Double Grass. So, yeah. And 2 green shinies in one day. But again, I'm a green shiny... a green shiny lover. Supporter. Defender. Defender is what I was looking for, but I'm frazzled right now. I think that's a good nickname for... Tangela. Frazzle. God, I feel so stupid about that. I mean, I know I didn't fail it, but... And technically it didn't have any turns where it had a chance to flee because I put it to sleep before it could move. And then it didn't wake up before I used Mean Look, but Jesus, that was so stupid. I mean, in my defense, why can Tangela just run from you? That I love Gen 2, but that's a mechanic I don't quite understand. The only sad thing about, I mean, not sad thing, the only unfortunate thing about Gen 2 shinies is there's really no... It's fun to have, like, the nature guess and everything like that, whereas there's really nothing more to do in this case, but there she is. There she is. And let's send her out into battle. This is a 30%, by the way. I didn't say that. But Tangela's, I think it's like, I'm trying to remember the total layout. Well, it's not the greatest back sprite, but it's a great color. And a cool shiny to find. And one of my fastest hunts, but it's, how sad is it that a 122 encounter shiny hunt is, I think, my 4th shortest? That's, I mean, not sad, it's just crazy. Anyway, that's that. I'm gonna do a little more hunting tonight, but I'm pretty sure I won't see you with another one tonight, so I will see you whenever the next phase pops up. Oh, shiny Sneasel! What? Oh my god! Holy crap. Oh, it's on the capture card with no audio, but oh my god. Oh my god. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. My bad phase luck finally coming back around. By which I mean my bad phase luck is leaving and... I'm not doing words well right now. Let me switch over to a single screen and speak a little more coherently. Okay, so this came after 21,106 encounters. Obviously that's a little bit deep, but I was honestly expecting this to go much deeper because I've still had such crazy luck in recent history that I was fully prepared for this to just be awful, and honestly, I'd be okay with it. I'm okay with going over 20k because I was expecting this hunt to take a really long time. And there was something in the back of my mind that was like, now that I've built it up as being this whole big ordeal that's going to take forever, it's probably not going to take that long. There was some feeling I had where I was like, I feel like I'm actually, after everything I said about getting it like, probably like 20 phases in, I feel like it's gonna come really fast. And here it is, phase 3. And the other thing, of course, about going over 20k is the last phase was, what, 122 encounters? So I was definitely due something that was ridiculous. But wow, I can't believe this. Yeah, I switched over, obviously, the capture card that has audio now, and after I unplugged the Wavebird receiver from the other GameCube, so it wouldn't be controlling it on, you know, without me seeing it, and the GameCube, like, froze up, which it's been acting finicky. It's actually my original GameCube from back in, I don't know, whatever year it was I got it. So after complaining about not getting the audio on it, I'm maybe a little bit okay with not having gotten it on that one, just because I would be terrified that I'd accidentally touch that GameCube the wrong way, and I would end up with failing the Sneasel, which would not be fun. Sneasel can't flee. It's not one of the Pokemon that can flee, but I'm mean looking it just because I'm paranoid. We're just going through every single possible means of preventing it from fleeing. This is, and I'm gonna double check its moveset too. I know I checked this before I started the hunt, but no, I don't even. It was level 40, I think. So it's got Quick Attack, Screech, Feint Attack, Fury Swipes. Yeah, nothing that I'm afraid of. So we're gonna just Super Fang it, and we're just gonna. I mean, it really doesn't matter what I catch it in, because it's Gen 2. I'm not gonna see the ball anyway. Okay, that's a little bit rude. Yeah, so it's my first ever shiny, finally reclaimed. Like, how many years later? It's like 20 years later, at least. Probably more than that. I'm assuming it was not as late as 2003 that I found my first one. I can't believe I found that. It's like, obviously I was gonna get it if I hunted long enough, but there was just something about it that felt so insurmountable because it was my first ever shiny, and it was just so, especially as I like really started to appreciate how rare it was to get like a shiny Sneasel, a 10% Sneasel, and Gen 2 is my first ever shiny. Like, that just feels so crazy. So I don't know, it felt crazy to have found it, to ever find it again, that is. Sorry, I'm not thinking very clearly. I was trying to think of a nickname and I don't have one on hand. Why am I this way, where I hunt a Pokemon for however long and then I'm just like, wait, I don't really know what I'm gonna nickname it. I don't know. I don't know why I don't think about these things ahead of time. I do sometimes, it just did not in this case. But yes, and the other thing is, this officially rounds out my gold DTQ, which is amazing. It feels like it's been so long since I actually closed out a quest, because I've been working for so long on this damn moth quest, which I'm really trying to work away at my I already saved, right? at my Burmy hunt. I've been grinding away at that. I was actually kind of hoping that would shine before this did, just because I'd feel a little bit better about, like, if I'm over, like, 20k on Sneasel, surely I'm not going to go to 20k on Burmy at the same time, right? Anyway, yeah, it's just, and this quest I started, I guess it was about last July. I guess I can check exactly when it was. So it's actually not that long. About a year is, that's about average for me for quests, I would say. But it's, I mean, when was the last quest that I actually finished? I'm trying to remember. I guess it would be my Scarlet and Violet stuff, but that barely counts. It's Scarlet and Violet, it's just not the same. Technically, I started it in April of 2022. But I think I didn't really start my Chikorita hunt in earnest until, like, June or July. So I will come up with a nickname for this eventually, but for now, this is what we've got. This is, I mean, it's surreal. It's just surreal. I'm surprised I didn't phase on more stuff around here, but I actually think it's the best case scenario, because I have a another Gen 2 quest planned for some point in the future, and I know I'm gonna hunt Ponyta for that. So I was actually like, ugh, I don't really want to phase on a Ponyta and then have to hunt it again. And now I don't. Now I don't have to. But there is, speaking of, that's a regular Ponyta. There's shiny Sneasel. That back sprite looks so cool. Oh, I'm so happy to get this. Happy to clear out this quest. It just feels good to round off a quest, you know? Like, I enjoy all the shiny hunting that I do, but there's something satisfying about, like, yes, I got this full party together, and I already have, like, my team together for this quest. I haven't decided if I'm gonna maybe try to... I don't think I want to incorporate Sneasel into my team for Red, as much as I'd like to use it in some capacity, because I haven't fought Red yet. I guess I could have before doing this hunt, but I didn't. But there's just something satisfying about rounding it out. I mean, that's why I work in quests. That's why I don't hunt individual stuff usually. Working toward a quest is satisfying because you know there's going to be that moment where you've finished and you have this project that you've been working toward complete. And so it's just very satisfying to reach that point, to get this entire quest that I've been planning out completed, and to reclaim this target from, I mean, not target, I didn't target it, but reclaim my first ever shiny. So, anyway, we'll show it off again one more time in battle, and I don't know, I might do something with Red. I might show off the Red battle, I might not. One way or another. I hope you enjoyed all this quest. I hope you enjoyed this little bonus hunt to it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and take care, and best of luck on all your hunts.
Hot battle involving the hopeful champs of tomorrow has just started. They're eyeing each other warily. Champs of tomorrow has just started. They're eyeing each other warily.